Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any time, we're going to jump straight into our next session. Here we are looking at lessons of adaptability. Let's welcome our moderator for this session. She is a former Miss India, an actor, and an entrepreneur. Her career spans acting, producing, hosting, as well as social activism. Her diverse skills and her unwavering commitment to social causes has made her such a respected figure in entertainment as well as social change. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Let's welcome onto our stage, Neha Dhupia.
Good evening. Thank you for that extra applause. I like it. What are we talking about today? We're talking about the lessons of adaptability. So here we are. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm your host, Neha Dhupia. For those of you who don't know me, in the next 30 minutes, either you're going to love me or you're going to love me a lot, right? Well, today we're going to talk about failure. Maybe not. We're going to talk about adaptability. Yes, for sure. But most importantly, we're talking about embracing failure to touch success. Now, some people who've done that really well in the past have been a lot of people who've seen success, right? Simple. So yeah, I'm going to not waste too much of time. Are we ready to talk to these two lovely people who are going to fill these lovely seats for us? All right. So they have shown us what the age of adaptability should be. We're going to welcome on stage the lovely Vikrant Massey, an actor par excellence. He's known for his consistently strong performances, a boy who I've known for many, many years now, and I couldn't be more proud having this conversation with him and moderating this session with him. And apart from his extraordinary achievements, he's also won a Filmfare Award in such a short span of time as far as his career is concerned. Joining him, speaking of short span of time, joining him is the lovely Medha, who's an actress, a singer, and a model. If we have enough time, and if I talk a little lesser at some point, we'll try to get her to do, not a catwalk, but most definitely sing for us. Is that a good idea? Okay. So, enough of me. Let's put our hands together to welcome the lovely Vikrant Massey and Medha to talk about the age of adaptability. In today's session, Disney Plus Hotstar presents Lessons of Adaptability. Medha, we're going to talk about you. Vikrant, we're going to talk about you. We're talking about the lessons of adaptability. Now, how long have you been a part of the business? First, tell us that.
Firstly, hi everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here and Medha. So it's a great moment for the both of us. I'm really excited. How long have I been in the business? This is my 21st year. Yeah.
What have you been acting since you were 2? Because you don't look a day older than 23. Look at this boy.
I am 37. I started when I was 16. And yeah, my first TV show was when I was 16. That was for, I can say Disney Plus Hotstar ka hi hai na ye. So it was for Star Plus. Yeah.
सोच समझ के बोलता है लड़का. That's amazing. I mean, I didn't know that. I mean, somewhere in your introduction, I said short span of time, and I felt like maybe because you have this really young and fresh face, and it works for you every time, and it's really great. Now, tell us that in your 21-year-long career, what are the touch points or the biggest lesson of adaptability that you've probably learned?
I think, the tagline is an answer in itself, embracing failure to touch success. And for me, it is ironical because I have been reading a book called, I just finished it last week. It's called Same as Ever by this guy called Morgan Housel. If people read, he's also the same author who'd written The Psychology of Money. And he says same as ever. The book is about things in a world that is adapting so fast. sometimes faster than we ourselves can comprehend, there are certain things that stay the same, which we'll get back to later. But my answer is the same. Embracing success, embracing failure to touch success. So when I was in TV, I did 10 years of TV, and it's my 11th year in movies. If I look back in hindsight, I think I individually have had to adapt from time to time. And if I can put it briefly, when I started doing TV, I did this TV show called Balika Vadhu. It was pretty popular at that time. And people always would say, our destinies are dependent at the click of a button. Because it used to come at 8 o'clock or 8 baje, sare prime time channels pe bahut sare shows aate the. If you're not good enough, if you're not engaging enough, you just click a button and the audience can opt for someone else. So that's how I see, I think life, the mediums have changed. There are so many new mediums that have come in. You've seen it all as well. So adaptability is key. I think most of the things that were up and coming, say maybe 10 years ago, are almost redundant today. So it is imperative. And I also very strongly believe in one thing, that success cannot be defined as a standalone concept without failure. And ironically also, if you actually see, most days are failures. If you compound time, most days out of 365 days a year, you're actually off the mark 300 days a year. People just see those 65 days, but it is your gumption to get up day after day, wanting to better yourself in whatever field of work you're in, or wanting to sort of undo a lot of things and adapt to new things. I think that is more time consuming if you compound these things. So I think that the tagline itself is my answer. I think one has to embrace failure.
Well, I also think that's so true, because it's also how you approach it. Now, it doesn't mean that, there's always that positive sting to failure, because you're like, okay, I need to do better than this, and I need to get better from here. But when I'm saying this, it doesn't mean you should seek failure, but most definitely work towards finding a positive, saying, hey, this
Nobody seeks failure.
Yeah.
Nobody seeks failure. It's something that is so concomitant with life itself. And we need to understand this thing. But anyway, you can continue.
No, all I'm saying is that you have to find that one positive string, and more often than not, it's adaptability. Like, how do you adapt to a room? How do you adapt to a concept? How do you adapt to a new kind of, way of expressing yourself as actors if you haven't seen success in something? I mean, I've dabbled in a lot of things, but once again, it's not about me, Medha, it is about you. So we're going to talk about you. Please tell me you've been around here for very little time, because if you say 21 years, I'm going to leave. I'm just going to leave. If she says I've been around, how long have you been in the business for?
First of all, hello guys, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you. So I moved to Bombay in 2017, and 2018 is when I started auditioning. So I think it's been 5-6 years roughly since I've been here. It's been some time, yeah, not 21 years though.
And how long was your shoot for 12th Fail? Knowing Vidhu Vinod Chopra, it's probably 5 years of auditioning, and then, is he here? Because
he's not here, no.
Okay, he's not here.
No, but like you rightly said, knowing Vidhu, so he takes his time with auditioning and casting absolutely correctly. But I've been very, very fortunate. I've only screen tested twice with him, and I got the part, so I'm very happy. But yeah, the prep and everything went on for like a year and a half. So yeah, that's how long it was.
So you haven't worked towards that much of adaptability yet. You haven't been pushed to that corner, because you've seen success, which is great, and we want to congratulate you.
Thank you. No, of course, I've seen a lot of failure. I mean, like the first 5-6 years, it's not easy at all. And I generally don't like the word failure. I usually swap it with a euphemism, setback. So every time it's a defeat, whether it's a rejection in an audition, which has went on for like so many years before 12th Fail, I've always seen it as a setback, and I always use it as a stepping stone instead of looking at it like a stumbling block. And that's how you adapt. Okay, it's fine. I lost this one, but the next one is going to be bigger and better. So it's happened in the last 5-6 years, and then 12th Fail happened. So,
yeah, she's like, yeah, fine, I've lost this one, but my film was the biggest film last year.
I'm glad I lost on those projects.
casually, spelling out the success. No, but you know, speaking of the film, we're all very intrigued about the film, and I'm going to speak on behalf of the audience. Huge round of applause, guys. 12th Fail, star cast of 12th Fail. Who would have known, who would have thought, but more importantly, you feel so much pride as somebody from the film industry, you know, that you see films that have such great content, doing so well, this chat as well. Now tell me, when you talk about, and this question is for both of you, anyone can take it first. When you talk about 12th Fail and the parts that you played, at any point did you resonate with the main lead saying, okay, this was me in life as well? And did you have anything in common with the characters you played?
Yeah, इसमें तो कुछ ज़्यादा ही था actually. Not that I have worked in an atta chakki, but
now you can.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the reasons why I did the film also is because when Vinod sir offered me the film, he actually gave me the book pehle. The film is based on a book. So I read the book and I said it has tremendous potential, and then I read the script. 12th Fail per se, one of the reasons why I did it is because there are so many anecdotes from my own personal life which were a part of the script.
Like what?
Like, nobody at the age of 16 wants to step out and fend for themselves, right? So I did that because I had to support my own family, my own education. I had just stepped into college at that time, and you know, as a regular middle class family, it was difficult for us to make certain ends meet. So I kind of took it up upon myself to also help my family and support my education at the same time. And besides that, you know, I think the value system that Manoj Kumar Sharma possessed in the movie, and thankfully also because, as I said, it's based on a true story, so I also got a chance to interact with Manoj Kumar Sharma quite a lot. So we were pretty similar, you know. Back even when I was younger, we continue to be similar. Our value systems remain the same. So Vinod sir always would say this thing कि यार ये film जो है ना ये मनोज की तो कहानी है, and actually that is the reason why we also came up with this tagline which said, you know, based on a true story but inspired by 1,000,000 true stories.
Yeah.
Because हमारे देश में actually ये हर घर की कहानी है.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
And all of us, while making the movie, we realized there were so many people on set who saw their brothers, their fathers, their mothers, their siblings. This is such a deeply rooted Indian film. And that's why we decided कि यार ये सही रहेगा because हमारे ही set पे इतने सारे लोग हैं जो कह रहे हैं कि ये मेरे घर की कहानी है. And yeah, so there were so many people, you know, and I'm not really surprised that, you know, there's so much of Vinod sir in the film, there is so much of me in the film, there's so much of Medha in the film, you know. So ये एक universal nature है.
Yeah, and I think that for the ones who don't see themselves in the film, it's not necessarily that it's their story, but it's the story of hope. It's a story of success after failure. It's a story of kind of getting back up on your feet after stumbling and falling straight on your face. And that's the story that you need every day, whether you're raising children, whether you're, you know, going out there and getting a job, whether you're getting fired, whether you're doing nothing at all. Like, you know, sometimes you just need that. And then, I mean, it's so hugely inspirational, and the way the two of you have played those parts. I mean, I don't know whether I'm fangirling or asking questions, but I'll stick to the latter right now. If you're talking about this, now what happens with Vikrant Massey, what is the box office of this film? Sorry, I'm just very intrigued. I should actually not ask him this question on stage. Hi sir, how are you?
No,
so long since I saw you.
But Vinod sir किसी को बताते भी नहीं है. ये आपको भी पता नहीं होगा, किसी को पता नहीं होगा.
अच्छा ठीक है तो कोई भी. Let's assume that it's massive. Now when you're talking about the sincerity and when you're talking about telling stories, now what happens is the minute a mainstream hero, and a lot of you would know this, a mainstream hero in the Indian film industry or anywhere gives a hugely successful film as far as numbers is concerned, you get multiple scripts that come your way. Now, are you going to be choosing the next script also with the same amount of sincerity, the storytelling? I want to know your process, because somewhere down the line, even success comes with a little bit of burden as to what next.
You're absolutely right. And in fact, the other day I was having a chat with someone that, you know, I know it for a fact that not all my films are going to be 12th Fail.
Yeah, so
But
how do you adapt?
I mean, what's there to adapt? That's the bitter truth of life. You know, you have to take things at face value. That is how it is. This is how it has always been. This is how it will always be. Aage bhi. So, and as I said, there are certain things that remain the same. Some things never change. The nature of life has sort of, the crux of it has more or less remained the same. So, if I am a, like sort of, I hate saying this, but if I am a brand, my operations don't change. I still read with the same outlook. Of course, you know, you also want to take a break. You know, साल में मैं 3 फिल्में करूँगा. मैं इनके साथ मैं ये करना चाहता हूँ, वो करना चाहता हूँ. After the success of 12th Fail, I haven't started looking at scripts differently or reading them differently. It still remains the same. Only the bandwidth has increased, which is great. I might have more better scripts coming my way, but equally worse scripts will also keep coming because the inflow of scripts has increased.
Yeah, I can imagine, but I wish that we only see this much success and more success and great box office for both of you. This is not the end of the session. We're still asking questions. It almost sounds like I'm ending it, but I'm not. Medha, when it comes to you, you've seen such phenomenal box office success, and what's really incredible is that, you know, the film speaks for itself. The performances are absolutely beautiful. It's got his heart in the right place. It's been loved by everyone. It's got the numbers. It's got you the recognition. All of that. Now, this is great context setting for a phenomenal run as far as Bollywood is concerned for you. Are you ready? What has changed?
I think I'm very new still. There is so much more that I have to learn, and that's what I figure every single day, that, oh, there is so much more to learn. So I've not taken any sort of pressure on myself that, oh, this film has done really well, so now I have to be, I don't know what. I don't know what that is. I'm still the same person. I'm still hoping and praying to be working with incredible directors and filmmakers and actors, and that will always be the case.
Sir loves this answer.
So I'm still looking at the scripts the same way. Yes, like he said, more projects are there, is more accessibility, more people, nice people want to work with you. But yeah, I'm still the same. Nothing really has changed. And like the tagline of our film is restart. I think, okay, the film has done really well and it's put us on the map and people know us. And of course, people have always known Vikrant, but now people know me. And there is some credibility, so everything is great, but yeah, it's also still the same, so.
Well, as it should be, and you know, I feel like you have your scripts and your heart in the right place, so that's a great thing. Now, if you had to tell me one of your role models who you've seen adapt, change over the years when it comes to the business or when it comes to life, if you had to look up to someone when it comes to these words of adaptability, who would it be?
In the business, if you ask me, I would have to say Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd say that. Yeah, great answer.
Yeah, because the way she's adapted to global cinema and like going to a different country and a whole new business and behaving and approaching things like a newcomer, that takes courage and that takes a lot of sense of security. So I think she's adapted really well. So in that sense, I really look up to her.
Look up to her. Yeah, I think so too. Vikrant, I'm not going to ask you the same question. Right before we let you go, I want to ask you, how do you adapt yourself per film, per project, you know, 12th Fail being one of them out of the many projects and, you know, scripts that you've tackled over the past 21 years. How do you adapt yourself when it comes to your acting style and your approach to a script and storytelling?
I think because filmmaking is such a collaborative thing, you really cannot sort of pluck yourself out and say कि मुझे क्या चाहिए. There are directors, there are producers, there are writers, there are so many people who come together. So by the end of it, it is the director's vision that needs to be sort of, you know, justified. So yeah, I mean, it totally depends. For example, when I was doing television, our priority was TRPs and you had to act a certain way. So,
show us.
कैसे? So, yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong in it, right? It's a business.
Of course.
And there are different business modules. So, if you have to cater to a certain module, you have to cater. And that is, you know, peak adaptability also. You know, the moment I came into cinemas, it was a different world altogether. So I had to adapt there as well. So different modules need different outputs. And again, it is a director's medium and it is a producer's medium also. So I think if there is a certain aspiration with any film, and if it is guided by the ones who are the sole owners or, you know, the responsibility bearers, as an actor, it is your responsibility to, as a professional actor, it is your responsibility to provide them with what they aspire to get out of that film.
Well, I wish you all the best, Vikrant, with everything. I wish you all the best, Medha, with everything. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to failure, success, adaptability, we've got the best ones in the house to talk about it, as they did. Put your hands together for Medha, Shankr and Vikrant.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.